Thessaloniki, Greece's second largest city, population of about 1 million people, and of course, like many places around Greece, there's a lot of history in this part of Greece as well. And one of the most historic spots where you really get a feel of all of the history of the city as well as a nice view of the city is here at the Attribution. This is a Byzantine fortification that's been around, according to some archaeologists, possibly even earlier than that. Let's go in and see what the fortress looks like on the inside and take a view of the city from the top, because you can walk along the top of the walls. There's actually, believe it or not, even more continuous history in Thessaloniki since the ancient times all the way till now than there is in Athens, given that Thessaloniki has been an important trading center for basically a few millennia. If you're anything like me and you like exploring the history of places like Thessaloniki that have a lot of history to see, then definitely come to the Epitapyrgos, because not only do you get to learn a lot about the history of the city through these walls, but you get a nice view of the city down below while you're here as well. Man, that would suck to be imprisoned in here. I would not want to be imprisoned here. It's pretty grim. Down in the center of Thessaloniki, in the lower part of Thessaloniki right now, by the White Tower, and I'm joined by a very special person here, my cousin. This is my cousin Petro, who is from Thessaloniki here, and we grew up together in the summers down in Chalkidiki, because like we say here in Thessaloniki, you know, like Chalkidiki, there's no place like it. And so he's joining me here in Thessaloniki to sort of help us out a little bit, because this is his city, this is his place, he knows the city, and so he's going to help us out with what it's like to travel around here in Thessaloniki. So what are we going to do now, Petro?
So we're going to visit the White Tower. It's the most iconic monument, let's say, of Thessaloniki.
Yeah, it's definitely the most recognizable part of the skyline. I mean, you know, there's not like a huge skyline here, there's not skyscrapers, but the White Tower here is the most famous sort of landmark in Thessaloniki. And it's a prison, it was a prison, right?
Yeah, it was.
So, did you ever think we'd be going to prison together?
No, but you never know.
I mean, okay, you know, I don't know, we were a little bit wild when we were younger, maybe just a little bit, but you know, we didn't think we'd be going to prison here together while making a YouTube video. Let's go to jail. As you go up the tower, you were saying each floor has something different?
Yeah, it's like an exhibition in each floor, like a different exhibition.
So you can learn about, you know, different parts of the city's history and the tower's history as you go up this, you know, circular stairway.
Thessaloniki, homeland of people.
Just so you know, the plaques here are only in Greek, so if you don't know how to read Greek, make sure that you get an audio guide downstairs at the entrance to the tower. Each plaque has a number at the top that you should be able to go to in your audio guide, which of course will translate for you what you're looking at. Make sure you duck your head down going through a lot of the corridors here because they're very low. Let's keep going up. How many more floors are there, Petro?
Not sure. I think 3.
All right. So we're about halfway up. We have made it here to the top of the White Tower here in Thessaloniki. It is well worth the trek up to the top. It's not a super difficult trek as long as you're able to walk normally. I mean, you know, you shouldn't have too hard of a time coming up the steps. It's broken up by 6 different levels of things to stop and take a look at that explore the different parts of the history of the city. But then when you get to the top of the Lefkopyrgo, the White Tower, this is what you get to see. And actually, because it's cylindrical, you actually can walk all around the top of the tower here, which is very small. It's not very big at all at the top, and get a panoramic view around the White Tower. What do you think we should do next, Petro?
We should walk towards Aristotelous Square.
Aha. Okay, so Aristotelous Square.
Iconic square.
There's some good food down there too, because we're getting kind of hungry from all this walking around up towers and stuff. This walkway here, it's like there's like a pretty big pedestrian walkway that's like right here by the water, and it goes pretty far the other way too, right?
Yeah, it goes to the music hall. It's like 5 kilometers.
There's a very large area where this big walkway goes down. It's called Nea Paralia in Greek, New Beach, but it's really, I mean, it's not really much of a beach. It's by the water, but it's not
you can't
the
swim.
beach. It's just like, okay, it's next to the water, but it's a big area that, you know, you can walk all the way down. A lot of people use it for running and exercising, biking.
Yeah.
It's like about 5 kilometers, so you could walk along the sea here for a very long time if you want to on a nice day.
Yeah, it would take you about 10 minutes to reach the Aristotelous Square from the White Tower.
What is something you would say is like food-wise that's like very specifically Thessaloniki that you wouldn't find very easily in Athens?
Some desserts, I guess.
Okay.
Like bougatsa.
That's right, bugatsa, which actually that could be a breakfast too. I mean, I've had that for breakfast. But bugatsa, there's like bugatsa with cheese. There's this thing with bugatsa with cheese, which the rest of Greece thinks is crazy, right?
Yeah.
But like here at Thessaloniki, it's not only is it normal, but it's pretty damn good too. I love bugatsa with cheese. I didn't realize until I lived in Athens that bugatsa tiri, you know, bugatsa with cheese, savory bugatsa was like of Thessaloniki, a very specifically, you know, Thessaloniki and Macedonia thing. Down there, they just know the sweet bugatsa with cream. That's the much more well-known one.
Exactly.
There's a bit of a difference in the way they do gyro and souvlaki here, right?
Yeah, there is. I don't know which is the right one, and the wrong one.
I've heard that they tend to be bigger here, right?
They are much bigger.
So they're bigger here.
You can get full with one souvlaki.
Yeah, so they tend to be a little bigger here. So if you see that the prices are a little bit more here than in Athens, okay, you get more here. But here's the thing I personally don't like so much is that they put ketchup and mustard on it here, unless you tell them otherwise. Whereas in Athens, and pretty much like everywhere else in Greece outside of Thessaloniki and, you know, the Macedonia region, they put tzatziki unless you tell them otherwise. And I like tzatziki, I prefer tzatziki. But here they put ketchup and mustard, I don't know why. Do you know why? That's the case?
I have no idea.
I don't think anybody really knows why they do that here. But also, you know, in Athens, they call souvlakia kalamakia, like the straw. They don't do that here in Thessaloniki. Here, if you ask for a kalamaki to mean souvlaki, then, you know, they'll be like, Athineo, you know, they probably will correct you, right? They'll be like, that's a very, if you're a foreigner, they won't get angry with you, but they'll be like, no, that's the wrong way. Do not call it that. It's a souvlaki, not a kalamaki. When you're in the city center, it is a loud, you know, bustling cosmopolitan city, but you can easily walk, would you say?
It would be easier to not to use the car or the bus and just walk around the city.
Public transit here is not the best, unfortunately. There is a metro, there's a metro line that they're still coming soon. Ever since I was a child, ever since I was a small child, I've been hearing about this. They're working on it. You can tell where it's being worked on, but it's taking forever. In part because they keep finding, like if you dig anywhere in Greece, they keep finding artifacts. So
I mean, that's not the only problem, but
it's one of them. Yeah, so I mean, when that comes in, it'll be easier, particularly to get here from the airport, because I think it's going to start from the airport and it's going to come into the center. But because Thessaloniki is not too big of a city, if you're in the center itself, most of what there is to see is pretty easy just by foot. I think by foot, really, you can cover most of at least the city center itself. There is a bus network, and it's pretty cheap to use, and it's not too hard to use, but it's not the best. If you have to go to another part of Thessaloniki outside the center, the bus network is there, but walk if you can.
Yeah, exactly.
So now that we're going through Aristotelous Square, where are we going from here now?
We're gonna eat something first.
All right, well, let's go. Let's go eat something. There's a lot of choices here, but because Petro, this is, like I said, this is his town, so I'm trusting him. He's very good with food. Even more than he's more of a foodie than I am, and he cooks a lot more than I do too. So I would trust his judgment when it comes to good food. So let's go find something to eat. We have stopped here at 22, right? 22 is the restaurant. Now, Petro, you were saying it's because it's the name of the person is...
The surname.
His surname is basically something that sounds like the number 22, so that's the restaurant. Petro was telling me that there is this beer called Nymphi that I've never tried it before. I've actually never heard of it before, and you said it's from Thessaloniki?
Yeah, it's local.
Very good. It says it's a 5 hops lager beer. Very good. It's got a bit of a sweet flavor to it, I would say. Now, Petro was a little bit of a party animal last night, so he's not really feeling it to have one with me, but I had to try, and he said that I should try this Nymphi beer. So,
enjoy.
Now that I'm having this, thank you. I think it's very enjoyable. So, another thing to keep in mind if you're into drinking local beers when you're in Thessaloniki, Nymphi. What is this? This is not like a typical souvlaki gyro. What is this?
It's kind of gyros, but in a tortilla.
So that's why they actually call it gyrito, el gyrito, I guess, you know, because it's like a Spanish tortilla, but it's also like sort of like a gyro. So it's kind of like a little modern / Spanish twist on gyro. So we decided to try that here. That's like the main. They actually don't have like traditional Greek gyro here. This is like their main specialty. So really good, smells good. Let's go ahead and dig in before it gets cold. Very good. I mean, it's a little different. It's different than like a typical Greek gyro, but it's really good. I would say. It's got, I mean, other than the meat, and actually you can get it with chicken too. It's like there's chicken or pork, and then it's got fried potatoes in it, and it's got onions, and what else? It's like a sauce, right? It's like it's like a feta cheese based sauce. So really good. It's different than your typical Greek gyro because it's got like a thin tortilla rather than a you know, a Greek pita. But I would say it's good. I would have it again. Just step down here like this, and then the water comes from the ceiling. And then you just let that go, and then the water just stops. That is one of the most interesting bathroom setups I've ever seen.
This is one of the most unique places in Thessaloniki, like a unique shop. I don't think that there's another one like that. You can come here and it's basically a fruit bar. Fruit bar, juice bar, salad bar.
Thank you, Christo.
You're welcome.
Homemade lemon. Ooh, that's really good. I'm a huge lemon fan, so lemonade right here. Homemade lemonade. Come here if you're in Thessaloniki and get some homemade lemonade here. We've walked down Thessaloniki Street and we've made it down to Navarinou Street, which is, it's both a pedestrian walk and there's also some ancient sites here, like behind us here. There's a bit of an ancient ruin here. So what's Navarinou Street all about here?
Well, it's a street that mostly young people come and hang out here. You know, you can come and drink your beer, eat something like pizza or rib. Like cheap stuff. You can find cheap stuff here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of shops here too. There's a lot of little small shops that you can see as you walk down. It's a really cool looking pedestrian street, but it's got different levels and it's got, you know, old, you know, ancient and Byzantine walls here behind us, and so it's like a really unique kind of pedestrian walk. So let's walk along, because at the end of this there's a really famous ancient site that's along Egnatia Street, which is like one of the main thoroughfares that comes through here.
Maybe the most famous meeting point of Thessaloniki.
This is the Arch, or Kamara in Greek, there behind us. And this is one of the most famous landmarks in Thessaloniki. How old is this arch? I don't remember.
It goes back to the Roman Empire, so
that old.
Pretty old, yeah.
Petro, where are we at now?
So we are at Ladadika. It's an area in Thessaloniki center where you can find pretty much everything about nightlife and restaurants and bars and clubs and pubs and whatever you want.
Ladadika, and actually we could hear the deeper we go into it, and it's not even that late. It's only like 7 p.m. So I mean, it's already kind of coming to life early.
It used to be a flea market years ago. So now they changed everything into, you know, places that you can have something to eat and drink and have fun in general.
So we decided to save Ladadika for the end of the day to come here at night because Ladadika, you could say it's definitely way cooler to come here at night than during the day.
Yeah, because it's pretty empty during the day.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's places to eat here that are open during the day and it's not completely dead, but at night is when it really comes alive here, and just the look of the place, the colors and the style of this area just fits a lot more for night, would you say?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
I think so. Anytime Ladadika comes to my mind when I'm not in Thessaloniki, I think of nighttime here.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for coming downtown and meeting up with me and showing me around now.
Anytime.
Like I said, I mean, I am quite familiar with Thessaloniki myself. I've been coming here my whole life, but you know, this is his town. He's lived here most of his life, and so having him around for the video obviously makes it even better. So stay tuned for more videos from, not just from Greece, but from many other places that I'm planning to go to here for Global Niko. You might see Petro in some of them as well.
Subscribe.
Yes, subscribe, because you know, if anything, subscribe because you might see him in some more videos too.
You never know.
He likes to travel as much as me too. I think you got the travel gene just like I did. So you'll probably see him in some more videos with me as well. So until then, take care and travel better, and see you on the next video.